Some of the customer was using channel 0 and 1, which was 100% doing. So you do a full recall, you take it away from them. The other thing is that what we decided, eventually the decision is the decision of the OEMs. We communicated to the OEMs, and they've got several options, and definitely we said that we are going to stand behind our product, and we'll respect whatever the decision will be. Now, definitely I believe that the retrospective, it was very well accepted. You know, we took the high ground, we said we are responsible for the product. By the way, if I would have shipped it, you wouldn't have seen anything. It's something that deteriorated with time, but we believe that this is the right way to address it. Paul took the final decision, which was not an easy decision.
The final decision.
The final decision. Hey, listen, the decision at this level is done at the CEO level, and I'm proud of it because it's not an easy decision to make. But at the end of the day, I believe it was the right decision. I mean, the press appreciate the fact that we took the high ground and we stood behind the product. So definitely, I believe it was well appreciated. Another OEM.
Oh, really?
Yes. And the reason is the following. I have to respect the same way that I didn't say that Apple is going to be the first one. We're definitely speaking with additional OEM. Additional OEM raised their interest to introduce it. I know that they will. But I have to respect the OEMs. They decide when they're going to introduce it. I believe it would be inappropriate for me to tell which OEM is going to do it where. But I can tell you that it will be more than 8. It's not a one company. We offered it to everybody. There'll be several people that will take advantage of it. I believe they'll exist side by side. Some of the people wanted the bigger bandwidths. They want to use the Thunderbolt. Some of the people will use USB, so we don't see one replacing the other. We see them as complementing each other. And definitely the idea was not to replace. We just got some technology. We believe it's very fascinating technology, having the PCI Express and the high definition video on the same cable. And some of the OEMs saw it as a great opportunity to extend the I/O from within the PC to the outside of the PC and come with very interesting form factors. One is trying to increase the performance of a core itself, and you've seen it many, many years. One is to do it by frequency, which was the initial way. You know, you give more frequency, you get more performance. But normally that at some point of time, it manifested itself as a hit. Yeah. And the other thing is that you get to the diminishing return on investment, you don't get the best. The other one is to do the architecture itself, and you've seen the evolution from in-order machine to out-of-order machine. And by the way, even out-of-order machine give you great performance, but it's already at the expense of battery life, because in an out-of-order execution machine, you do speculative execution, and sometimes you need to flush it because you did the wrong speculation.
Which raises power.
Yeah. And the third thing is, at some point of time, when you look at the performance, it differs from one architecture to the other architecture. The most effective way to get more performance is by having more cores. And also this get to some point the diminishing return on investment. So I don't believe this is one rule. You need to look at all the things and see for the sweet point that you are trying to hit, is the best way to improve the frequency of the core, is it the best way to change the architecture of the core, or is it the best way to have multi-core in order to fit the sweet point that you are trying to do. We are still committed to MeeGo. We've got customers that are interested in MeeGo. We believe that the market and our customer are looking for a solution that will be kind of an open solution. So we are still continuing with MeeGo, and we believe that it will be a good solution for the market. What's after tablets? I believe you've been in my presentation. There are 3 kinds of questions. There's an excellent question, which is a question that I've got the foil ready. There's a good question, which is a question that I know the answer. And there's an interesting question, which is a question that I'm interested to know the answer. So let's put it like this. We all agree that tablet is not the last solution of a gadget kind of devices that are going to be next generation. There are different speculation, definitely everybody looking into it. For obvious reason, you know, I will not speculate about what we are going to do after it, but everybody is looking into it, and I believe not in the long term we'll see many, many more devices. We are looking at options, but you're not the only one that want to know. I believe my competition would like to know, but on the other hand, if many people told you, I would like to get your video and see what other people think is the next device, I'll be very happy to listen to it. I believe the interesting thing that's going to come in the near future is the whole way of man-machine interface, or should I say human-machine interface, not men and women. Human-machine interface is going to change. I believe we've got quite a lot of performance in the systems, and I believe we can do many, many magic in the way that we communicate with the devices. And I was quoted to say in the past that, you know, keyboard is not the most natural way to communicate with a device. Alternate control delete is not intuitive. And because for us intuitive is to speak, for us intuitive is to do gesture as I do right now, for us communicate is to see each other, not in 2D, in 3D video. And I believe that we've got enough compute power to deliver many, many of those things. And if you ask me if there's one thing that definitely is going to change in the coming few years, is the way that we are going to communicate with our devices. And I will not be surprised if people look 5 years from now at how we are addressing computer now, and they'll think that we've been in the Middle Ages. Let's put it like this. If the software will be able to understand my English with my accent and translate it to real good grammar English, I believe we've got a good solution.
I would see a good example for that too, I think.
So I didn't test it yet, but I believe that, you know, people tried for many years, but I believe we're on the verge of having the algorithm and the compute power to make it real. So this is just one example. But you say voice recognition and dictation, but the next thing is voice recognition and translation. Why can't I speak to my computer and my computer will translate it to Mandarin? You should see me in China. I'm hopeless. It means they don't understand a word of what I'm saying. First of all, I'm not sure that this is the best training for manager. I hope that nobody will have to go to army ever. But yes, I believe if you're an army, and you know, I had the chance to be an officer, and you go, you learn something about command, you learn something about how to manage people and stuff like this. You can apply some of it. But I know many, many great managers that don't have an army background and are doing a great job. I don't know, I believe you'll have to ask my subordinates and they'll be better to say about it.